The station of the stars. RTI.
It's Postcard from Poprad. I'm out of prison, and boy, have we got a show for you today. It's sunny, it's glorious. I'm not wearing a face mask for a change, because I'm in a sanitised building. Believe it or not. They've gone very quiet over there. They've been watching me and going, I wonder if he's going to leave the microphone up today or embarrass us and not tell us. And at the moment I do that, they go quiet.
Oh.
I
never saw till you say hi, Rach.
Well, no, that's very true. I've got to say hi to Greyford, who says hi to us, and Crossfilter, who says hi to us. And it goes, hi-ho. Hi-ho. Hi-ho, it's off the radio. Diddle-dum-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum-dum, hi-ho. Sorry. It's me. I'm tired. I can't take it anymore. But, I just love it. I love being outside. Oh, wonderful.
Hello to Uncle Eric. I've got to tell you, I'm very, very excited, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
About an hour ago, I had a video Skype call with my mum, Janet, and my brother, Phil.
Right.
And we've never looked at each other in the same room. It's about 3 years. About 3 years, so we had a Skype call, which is much nicer than texting and, all that sort of stuff. And we had a lovely chat, and it was wonderful. And I've got to tell you that they are both, Janet and Phil, are both listening as we speak.
Hello, Janet and Phil! Oh, nice. Actually, I've got to remember that for late in a couple of seconds' time when I say hello to some people.
Day 750 million in the Dave Big Brother house. And Dave's climbing the walls.
And Dave's been playing with his audio since last week.
Have I?
It sounds...
Is it good or bad?
Good.
Oh, right. Okay, that's good then.
Very nice, Dave. Very nice.
It's very chic.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very, very. I'm gobsmacked. Today's programme has a great ending with the wonderful, soon-to-be Forces sweetheart, Tamara Rossi. And she's done a rendition of We'll Meet Again to end the programme with. Tamara Rossi. Don't go away. You've got to stay there for this. It is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Recorded in her home studio. Well, not even a studio. It's a front room. And when you think this lady is singing in her front room, when you hear this later, you're going to go, you're kidding me. You're kidding. And we'll give you all details on that. Good afternoon to Chris, to Keith, and to David. Poor old Keith, I know he's getting bored. He's starting to post things on Facebook. Dave Klaus says, good morning, Rick. Great to look over your shoulder and see the proper way to operate a radio studio.
He must be on the wrong video stream.
For that. No, you can't see all the studio here, can you, Dave? But Dave Clouter, he's been doing this wonderful thing every evening on Facebook. So look him up. And what he's doing is positive news.
Love it.
Nothing but positive news about the coronavirus. And sort of, I don't know, he's being like a positive coach with his partner, and it's amazing. Does really well. Congrats to you, Dave. It is absolutely a wonderful idea, and my hat's taken off to you. I can't do that on a regular basis because I'd break every screen in the world before they say it. No comment was heard. Well, you... Look, if
I must be tired. I don't know what's happening.
Hi to Katie as well. Hello, nice to have you along with us. That's wonderful. And where are we?
Can we say hello to Louise as well?
We should say hello to Louise, very much so. Go on, you do it.
Louise.
Hello, Louise.
Hello, Louise.
I'll say hello to anybody. I'm so desperate for human contact.
That's all right, Louise. That's why I talked all over him, so you didn't have to listen to him. Do you want to do it again?
Hello, Louise. She's been helping me out, actually. She's written some of the questions that I've got lined up at my end.
Oh, no.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My Lord. Oh dear. Actually, David Clouter was very smart last night because I thought, hello Mitchell. I thought I'd drop him in.
Hello Mitchell.
I thought I'd drop him in the cart by asking him what it was like when he worked at Bush House for the BBC, and he was so complimentary about it all. No dirty stories whatsoever.
Oh, that was dull.
He didn't dish the dirt at all. Wendy says, hi, Eric. Hello, Wendy. Mwah, mwah. Hope you're keeping well. Hang on, I'll just check. Yeah, I'm all right down this side. I'm all right left down that side. Yeah, it must be okay. It's wonderful. I'm going to take the mickey in a minute. I'm brewing up tea. Can you tell I've got this sort of gloating, smug voice on today?
It just sounds like every other week.
Mitchell says...
I apologise. I'm sorry.
No, carry on. And I've got to get this one in first before Rachel and Dave do their quick roundup. We're only going to do quickie things this week, as we're going to get into these questions and have a bit of a giggle on the radio, because that's what we should be doing. Oh no!
Keith Lewis has shaved his beard off.
Oh,
I'm shocked. Oh dear.
Oh no! Gosh, my gabber is fluffed.
There now follows 10 seconds of silence in memory of Keith Lewis's beard.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, hello, Steve, who's just joined us as well. You're late. Where's your teacher's note? I'm going to gloat.
Please
Go
do.
on. Get on with it.
Afternoon, Steve. Well, you know, I was banging on about wearing face masks last week and so on and so forth.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen.
And Dave was being... Actually, to be honest, Dave, you were a boy. You were you were trying to follow the government guidelines of the UK. And there's me rubbishing them. And we actually got the news this week, which is quite fabulous, that the level of cases in Slovakia is now plateauing, and that looking in the days ahead at it going down. And my argument last week was because it is true, and when was it? Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday morning. Don't faint, Dave. Are you sitting?
I'm sitting down. It's
Thank
okay.
goodness for that. I had a hospital appointment at my usual point. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. He's fainted. And I was there at 6:30 in the morning.
Did you wet the bed?
No. We get there. It's 6 outside, -6, and we have to stand outside because we're not allowed in the hospital. Only two people at a time. There was a police officer and an army officer. Oh, well, I don't know whether he's an army officer or whatever his rank was. But anyway, an army man and a policeman there. And that's what they're doing. They're doubling up the army with the police to get more vehicles out and to cover more territory. And everybody was wearing a face mask. Absolutely everybody. 99.9999 reoccurring were homemade. Incredibly well made, it has to be said, because they've got like little groups of people that make these things, and they're absolutely fabulous. Even the bit across the sort of bridge of your nose fits perfectly, and it's like wearing, I remember when I was walking around hospitals before, it feels like one of those masks that you would wear you'd be given in a hospital. So it was quite scary. As you went in, you had to have your temperature taken, one of those things they stick on your forehead, well, not quite on your forehead, but close to it. I then went in for all my blood tests and stuff, and I passed, so that's okay. I've got an MOT for another couple of months, and the point being, everywhere in Slovakia, it's 2 meters separation. No arguments about it, no mucking about. The actual separation side is a de facto standard. So much so that they've opened little shops up now, and they've put sort of things on the path. Nobody argues about it. They put this sort of Dave's favourite, that tape of Dave's.
Oh, gaffer tape.
Yeah,
gaffer tape's the best thing ever invented.
Yeah, It's everywhere, and in 2 metre spaces. Everybody's being good. Everybody's wearing face masks, and lo and behold, the UK government now thinking about it.
Actually, the World Health Organization are now considering changing their advice.
It's pointless. They spread more germs than they do.
Well, that's what they were saying, and I back Rachel at this point. But yes, there's a news floating around this morning that they're thinking about revising their advice for face masks.
Yes, I quite agree.
If you're not symptomatic, don't wear it. It should be at a hospital where an actual person needs it.
Well, I agree. I agree with you that, Rach. But I'm thinking of laws of physics here, and you know I'm a bit bonkers about this. And when you go achoo or cough, the velocity at which the small droplets of water that come out of your body, you could launch a rocket with it.
Yeah, but you should have a
you sneeze into your elbow
or a tissue.
But they don't bother.
Then throw the tissue in the bin.
Oh, what? I am so proud.
What?
Finley Jones, the guitarist, has just joined us. Hello, mate.
Fantastic.
God, haven't seen you since a studio in London a few years ago. Nice to have you with us.
Steve Mann.
What?
Steve Mann, you've broken my secret.
Oh, no.
He's just put up and said, I thought only serial killers used gaffer tape. Charming.
Oh, yeah, well...
Steve Mann, I'm disturbed. Why would you know that?
Well, the thing is, Steve, we are keeping him off the streets. So by keeping him here, then he can't hurt anybody.
But I'm here and you're there.
This is true.
Yes.
And?
Run, Dave.
I can't. There's nowhere to go.
Now, it's all wrong. And I'm sorry, my love, if I get this wrong. Majita, I think it is. A lovely looking lady says, hi, everybody. That's very nice.
Hi.
Majita. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful name. Keith says thank you for having a little sort of moment for his beard. Which
it's
brings
good plan, Keith. Much good plan. I like a clean-shaven man. I think it's very attractive. I don't trust people with facial hair.
Okay.
They're hiding something.
Are they? Could be a big teenage spot, couldn't it?
Could be.
Which
under there.
Which brings me on to something else I want you to do. Everybody. Now, Dave's already done this. Gosh.
What?
Yeah, Dave's already done this, Rach.
It wasn't me.
What did Dave done?
What did Dave done? What Dave done was... Dave done... Oh, and we've got to apologise for Henry not being here this week before I forget as well.
Oh, yes, we do. We're a bit late.
Yeah, a bit late, but we are here. And Rachel's internet's a bit wobbly from time to time, so apologies if it is. It's not him and it's not Rach. The problem is that they are struggling with internet in certain areas of Australia at the moment, so much so that Henry can't even get Skype to work. Rach is on, but you can hear it sort of struggling a bit every now and again. So we're going to stick with Rach because we're like that.
Thanks, Uncle.
So sorry, Henry's not here. He'll be here hopefully next week when the Australian internet people have got a couple of more pedals running and can pump it around a bit more. Now, Dave's done this. I don't know if Rachel's done it because I haven't looked at the editing suite to check. Have you sent your video in yet, Rach?
No. What video? What was I sending? What happened?
The video of you being at home, the one we put on our secret squirrel group.
No, I don't because I don't be at home.
Oh no, you're at work.
My essential services job requires me to be at work.
Oh. Well, Dave said
I won't send a video, but I'll send you one next week when I'm on annual leave for 10 days and can't go out.
That'll do.
Okay.
Because we're going to keep this thing going. Hello to Jerry Khan as well, who's just joined us. Nice to have you with us. What we're going to try and do is show people at home because they want to be at home. In the case of us lot, we're all at home making radio, so you can stay at home. So Keith, now you've had a shave, you can do your video as well. It's on our Facebook group, and I'm sorry we can't let everybody on that group because we use it for techie stuff and things about RTI. But all the radio presenters know. Dave's already done it. So we've got some others in I saw coming in the other day, and we're going to put them all together in a sort of long video with our signature tune underneath it to try and encourage more people not to worry about it. Just stay at home, have a smile on their faces, and enjoy the radio. So there you go. So that's what we're going to do. So anybody listening, if you want to send a little video, we only want 10 seconds. And what you can do is you can then email that. It's better to send it via WeTransfer, to be honest. But the email address you need is studio@rti.fm. I'm going to sound very Anaraki now and Radio Ham sort of person. Studio's the easy bit at Romeo Tango India .Foxtrot Mike RTI.fm. And if you send them in, we're going to do this together. The presenters, the backroom people, the listeners, all together, make a nice little video, and we'll keep changing it as well, as long as we can, to try and say to people, come on, let's see what you do at home, just for 10 seconds, to give them a little message going, hey, I'm happy at home, which can't be bad. So that's our little plot. That's what we're going to try and do. Hang on. I have to stay at home during the winter due to my back pain. I never thought this skill would turn into a superpower. It is a superpower, Steve. It is a superpower. It's a superpower because if you don't go out, then you can't get infected, and we don't want you to get infected, Steve. We kind of like having you here every week. Surprise,
Did
surprise.
Did you want a superhero name? Because I've got one.
Go-
Captain Corbin.
Oh, very dry. I like that. Yeah, he could be CC, the Superman. Wow, that's cool.
Well, as long as he's not wearing his pants on the outside, that's fine.
Bit of a rule, isn't it?
No, that's an horrible thought, and I'm not going to go there. It's too political, so I won't, because I'm feeling nice. Anyway, I don't know, my friends, but since I've shaved the beard off, I look 25 years younger, so it wouldn't be fair. Yeah, right.
He looks like a baby then.
Oh, you creep! You creep!
Just get your handsome face on the telly. Come on.
Come on, Keith, you got to do it. End of story. We've all... Hang on. Rach, Dave, all those in favour say aye.
Aye.
That's it. It's voted on. Sorry, Keith, you lost. It's 3-1.
Yeah. That's democracy, dude. Get your head around it.
Steve,
get in the boat and row.
Steve's going to leave the pants wearing to Dave.
I always wear pants.
I think we should all wear pants just all the time, really, as a matter of social niceties.
Well, yes, I think so too. It could be very... No, not so good. Very quick roundup, and I mean quick. As I said, in Slovakia, we're doing okay. Things are looking brighter and happier. The cases that are being reported are not rocketing through the roof. We're all claiming it's face masks. And our Prime Minister on Wednesday, he gave people a choice, which I thought was kind of cool, really. Because he said, look, I know... Well, I'm paraphrasing, and anyway, he spoke in Slovak. I know that we're getting on with it, but now it's up to you. It's costing millions of euros a day for us to stay in the lockdown, and we want to come out of it as soon as we can. So, here's the deal. You carry on being good, and we'll start to see it improve, and we can get back to normal slowly but surely. If you don't do that, then I'm going to introduce a state of emergency and lock the whole place down. And I thought,
good on you.
Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. That's a proper PM doing it the proper way. I'm so proud of this guy because he doesn't do it in a politics way. He does normality. A politician being normal. Anyway, he's being normal, and he just said, "Look, guys, it's up to you. I can't do anything. It's up to you. It's in your hands." And away you go from there. So we're okay in Slovakia. Dave, over to the UK report.
Well, I'm just going to do positive stuff. Louise has sent me a message saying schools are donating masks and goggles and tissues to hospitals as they don't need them, and some hairdressers and tattoo places are donating gloves as well. Sainsbury's, the supermarket, are going to ease restrictions on the number of some items from Sunday. Aldi, Morrison's, Waitrose and Asda's have already done that. Last night we had another clap for our carers, where we all went outside and clapped for a couple of minutes at 8 o'clock in the evening, and that was to say thank you to all the critical care workers and the delivery drivers and all the people that are keeping us running.
And the truckers.
Yes. And I'm going to labour on this one just a little bit because I've just seen Prince Charles open this. He was in Scotland and the place he opened was in East London. It's amazing what you can do via video link.
Absolutely.
This morning we opened the largest critical care unit in the world. This is the NHS Nightingale Hospital in the Excel Centre in East London. Mm-hmm. It's taken 9 days to convert 87,328 square metres into a hospital with a maximum 4,000 beds in it.
Bravo to the army as well.
160 contractors, 200 army engineers from the Royal Anglian Regiment and the Royal Gurkha Rifles.
Good regiment, that. I'm biased.
So it's just an amazing thing to turn that massive building in East London into this hospital, and it's going to need 16,000 staff if it's fully working, and there's going to be 750 St John ambulance volunteers. Loads and loads of facts about this that I could reel off, and they're looking at building yet more of these critical care units around the country as well.
Yeah, and don't forget, Dave, just south of there are those three guys that are from a college. They're all ex-college members. One of them's now in university, one's a postgrad. And they went back to the school and said, "Here, can we borrow your 3D printers?" And they got a whole stack of 3D printers in the college. And they said, "Yes, what do you want to do?" They said, "We're going to make face masks, the proper surgical ones." So they're making them. They've got crowdfunding to pay for the raw materials, and all the doctors' surgeries and dentists and things like that locally in South London are all being given these proper, the plastic masks that come right the way down across your eyes and everything. Yeah. They're all being given them for free.
Cool.
Isn't that nice?
It's amazing what some of the people in the country and across the world are doing to help out. And just a quick fact, the reason they've called it the Nightingale Hospital is because the Nightingale wards are really thin, which was the design that she came up with, and it will be her 200th birthday on the 12th of May this year.
Nice one. And the Nightingale sang in Berkeley Square.
Yes, moving on from you singing, Rachel, over to you.
Over to me. Mine's got some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the bad news. We have everyone's got to remember we're a couple of weeks behind you in terms of what this virus is doing. So we're sort of in the beginning-ish. 5,331 people are sick. 1,085 where I live. 2,389 where Henry lives. 873 where my brother Phil lives, and 396 where Mum lives, and 400 where Robbie lives. A group called Frontliners has begun. You can find them on Facebook. Frontliners, what they do is they take care packages to hospitals for all the frontline services people there. So in the care package you'll find things like a meal they can heat up, a healthy meal they can heat up, energy drinks, snack bars, tissues, hand sanitizers, stuff like that. So they're putting care packages and taking them all around with their strategic partners. Nice one, Frontliners.
Nice one indeed. And also very interesting for us. We've just hit number 1 on one of the You Now channels. Gosh.
Yay!
Gosh.
We're number 1. We're number 1.
They've been one of the mega hospitals, temporary ones, at Birmingham Airport. I just don't hope it's just not the departure area that would not be good. I kind of agree with that, Keith. Yeah, we don't want departure area.
Yes.
That would be very... That would be actually, it'd be very callous to do it there. Dave, this is for you. Please can you ban Eric from ever singing again? You need to install a cut-off switch just in case.
We've tried it for many years, and to no avail. The man just finds a way to sing.
They've even...
It is frightening. It's frightening and difficult, but we all ask you to support us in such a difficult time.
Rachel even went to NASA, so did Dave. And even they couldn't make a filter for it.
No.
They really couldn't. They said there's no way to stop that unearthly screeching.
Unearthly. So I'm an alien.
You are. You're an alien.
Gosh.
We always knew you were a spaceman.
What not spaced out of good. Spaceman. Yeah, that's from the 90s.
No. Oh no.
That was a great song. I don't know why.
You have to. No, you let it go. Let the dream die.
Well, don't tell him that. He'll start singing that as well, and nobody wants it.
No, he won't. I promise.
What?
He won't. Nothing.
What?
Ask him a question, Dave.
What? Hang on. What have I got to forget?
Nothing.
You said
forget the singing. It's not going to happen anymore. You just have
what
to
you
let
mean?
it go.
Keeping the dream alive.
Well, no. You're not keeping anyone's dream alive. Trust me.
Starting a nightmare, possibly.
Oh, right. Go on. Who's in charge of this? Because I'm not.
I'm in charge of this.
All right. Okay.
I've just decided that, and I'm in charge. And Dave's going to pose a question to Uncle Eric. Because, the reason why we're doing this is because I think we're a bit fatigued from all the bad COVID news.
Yep.
So it was time to. We've done the stuff that we needed to do. We've done the business, and now we need to have a bit of silly for everybody.
I am so
a bit of silly.
Goddamn nervous.
Don't be nervous. Just be honest.
Nervous.
Well, this is an easy one to start with then. From Louise, who messaged me this morning. What is the one food that you can eat at any time of the day? That's you personally, or it's your go-to food. Hers is spaghetti, and she eats it cold out of the can as well. Which is
no, that's lovely. I agree with you. I think that's wonderful. The food I could eat 24/7. Well, I can't do chocolate anymore, so that's out. The one thing that flashed through my brain is a nice ribeye steak.
Ooh.
Oh.
I could eat that any time.
Yeah.
Just the steak.
Australia's got its interweb working. Rob's here.
Hey, Henry.
No, it's Rob. It's Rob.
Oh, it's Robbie.
Hello.
In Western Australia. Hello, Robbie. I miss you. I want you to come home.
We're having to do this via Slovakia. Anyway, yeah, Robbie, nice to have you with us. I know you're quarantined out in the middle of nowhere. Well, no, actually, it's got a really lovely hotel with a boat.
It's a big house.
Yeah.
He's in by himself.
Apparently yours, Rachel, according to Robbie. Let's see how the Mr. and Mrs. quiz goes.
All right.
Yours is Japanese food.
That's correct. 100% correct. And if I can't get my hands on that, I will, at the other end of the fancy scale, crunchy nut cornflakes.
Oh, I wish I could have those. I'm not allowed anymore.
Oh, that's a shame. I'll send you some more Vegemite.
That'll do. Paul Rawlings joined us, the voice of Yorkshire, the man to the world, has joined us. So nice to have you with us. Thank you, sir. Hang on. Steve wants to know, where's Robbie stuck?
Robbie's stuck in Western Australia. He works in the northern part of northwestern part of Western Australia, and he would normally be flying back to Melbourne to have his week rest, but because they've closed those borders, he can't come home. He has to then go down south to Perth and have his time off there, and then he'll go back up.
Yeah.
But if he came home now, he wouldn't be able to get back and he wouldn't be working. That's bad.
That's bad. Paul apologises for being a bit late, but I'm glad I missed the hospital chat. That would have scared him. I heard one of these hospital radio stations once. It cured me instantly. Oh, don't. Oh, no.
All right. Is it your question for someone now, Uncle Eric?
No, hold on. I can remember, Paul, many years ago, being asked to and agreeing to, which was a dumb move, taking over a hospital radio station. The first job I did was say to everybody, here's a new book. And they went, what is that for then? So you've got to sign in the book that you've walked a ward of the hospital to gather requests from the patients. If you don't walk the wards to get requests, you can't play radio. Half the people left. They just left. And I thought, what a load of you lot are. They're only just...
Well, I'm quite glad you haven't told us we've all got to walk the streets of Poprad to pick up requests. So
Sorry, I had to put more money in the meter. Sorry,
Steve says, you're lucky you're late, Paul. Eric tried singing it. I'll be scared for life. La 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 la. I can sing. I was a boy soprano, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we found the cure for the coronavirus. Eric?
No, I'm not doing the questions. You guys are.
Well, okay. I thought we were asking each one. It's very, very interactive. And without Henry, this is starting to look stupid. So you got to think of one now.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, I'll ask you guys one. And this is not meant to. It's going to sound like it's a rude question, but it's not.
Yeah, right.
What is the weirdest? What is the weirdest thing you've ever had in your mouth?
Oh my word! That's a interesting question.
Yeah, it is actually. Well, I've eaten snake.
You can. It can be something you ate, or just something that ended up in there by accident. Again, not meant to be rude.
I've eaten ostrich.
Everyone.
I've eaten ostrich. Eaten snake.
I've swallowed a fly.
That's a good song as well. Oh no, sorry, I'm not singing anymore. Okay. What else have I had? Thank you. You were in The Sopranos, more like the Teletubbies. Thank you very much. I've tried a lot of exotic foods, to be honest. I even tried grubs once, but they were horrible. They deep fried them in fat.
Gross.
They are gross. Normal things like oysters and stuff like that. Oh yeah, yummy. Like all that.
Yes.
Like crabs, especially from Cromer. They are so lovely. Lobsters, yeah, into that. Squid, no problem. I like to have some of that. Well, that's calamari. Anyway, so yeah,
I think I could do it. Now that we haven't got Henry, I can actually tell you one at Phil's.
Go on.
My brother Phil, we were driving from Adelaide to Melbourne, or Melbourne to Adelaide, I can't remember which, either way, and we stopped at one of those roadhouse type places to get something to eat halfway through our journey, and he asked for a milkshake, and he got his milkshake, and as he was trying to suck the milkshake through the straw, it was constantly blocked, and he kept checking it because he thought it might be a big blob of ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And in actual fact, it was a blowfly.
Oh no!
Totally ruined his milkshake.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if they poo, it's horrible.
Yes.
Rob says, even I haven't done that, Eric. Right. Yeah, I've done all of those, and ostrich and stuff like that. In fact, the ostrich I get comes from Australia.
Yeah, well, it probably would do, I reckon.
Yeah, it does.
Who else would farm it like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Simon, what about you, Dave?
Well, I was trying to think about this. I think I can only think of like a blowfly that I swallowed by complete accident. And once I was eating a packet of crisps in the dark. This was a long time ago. I was at a golf club sitting outside. We were sitting outside in the dark.
No, you hear the real side, Dave. Sitting in the golf club. That's okay. A jolly holly stick, shabbies.
I'd gone with my dad. Anyway, we were eating. I was eating some crisps because I wasn't allowed to go in the bar, so that gives you an idea. It was back in the dark ages, and I managed to eat a moth that landed on a crisp. So I had a crisp and a moth at the same time.
You're all about eating the insects.
That's horrible.
Like a Bear Grylls in disguise or something.
Yeah, Rob's had camel and kangaroo. I've had kangaroo as well, Rob, but Rob's had camel and kangaroo. Never tried camo. I've never, don't know where. No, kangaroo have done. They do kangaroo steaks now and again that you can buy even here, and they're lovely.
Wow.
They are really rather nice.
They're gamey.
They are very gamey. They are indeed. Whose turn is it?
It's yours.
It's your turn.
I haven't thought of anything yet.
Well, then hurry up.
Hurry up.
This could take a long time then.
It's your turn again then, Dave.
I've got one.
Go on.
Dave.
If you were a desert island and there was only not an album, not an orchestral work, one track that you could take with you that you had to play every day, what would it be?
Oh, that's harsh. I think I'm going to go with the Eagles Hotel California because you could listen to different bits of it and it'd be awesome.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I think I would probably choose. I don't know. Actually, it's a really weird song, but I would choose "Wanna Be Starting Something" by Michael Jackson.
No, I get that.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Going back to what we've eaten, Mitchell says a spider that was fried to the chip from a chip shop.
That's disgusting. That place better have been shut down.
And now we know. Now we know.
Stretch.
Now we know why he's so nasty at times on the radio. Keith Lewis swallowed a wasp and has never been the same since. That makes sense.
But that would annoy anybody.
Well, that's true.
That's got a sting in the tail, that has.
Oh, that was terrible. Would it be the Radio Caroline theme? No, it wouldn't actually, Keith, Steve. It wouldn't be the Radio Caroline theme.
So what's your tune on your desert island?
It would probably be one of the elements of the Planet Suite by Holst, and it would probably be Jupiter.
Can I change my answer?
Yes.
In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins.
Now that works because it's got so much. If anybody's familiar with the Planet Suite, and especially Jupiter, it's got that sort of positive energy pouring out of it all the time. And as to Hotel California, I would only have that if I was jumping off the top of the Tatras without a parachute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a. Oh, carry on. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say Louise has sent me some updates. She's obviously wants to join in today.
Okay.
She's eaten octopus.
Yes.
And her is "Welcome to the Black Parade" by My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Now that's a good track. Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. I like Sing.
Yeah, that works. Now I will go with the one food I dislike intensely, and it stinks as well.
Vegetables. I don't know.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, that's horrible. I hate that. Yeah.
And of course, go on, Dave.
I could bring up haggis after your conversation yesterday when you were doing your stream.
All right.
Only for the simple reason, a friend of mine called Mark, he managed to, not the Mark you know, he managed to bring into the office one day a Tesco's value haggis and cooked it in the microwave.
Lovely.
And to be entirely honest, he stunk the whole floor out. It was great.
You brought up haggis tonight, and it sounds like you brought it up that day as well.
I agree with Paul's favourite track as well. Got to be Kraftwerk's Autobahn. That's a good track. It's an amazing track. Absolutely wonderful. And Mitchell Davis is in with me saying, good choice, Eric. Holst is amazing. Yeah, well, I'm not... No, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that at all. My street cred's out the window now.
Well, that happened with the singing.
Did it?
Yeah.
And a long time before he started singing.
Do you want a stupid fact?
Sure.
I was... not long before my late parents passed, my mum sent me a parcel, and in it was my O-level music essays.
Oh, I'd love to see these.
They're true. And I had to learn a bit of Holst to play on the old Joanna piano, and I was tested by an independent instructor to make sure I could play the Joanna.
I didn't know you could play the piano.
Yeah. That was my musical instrument. Hi to Emily from the Czech Republic, who's just joined us. Keith likes Bubble and Squeak. That's yummy. And hello to Lee Howard. Hello, Lee. My main man on a Saturday. My main man. Hi from Spain, he says with a big kiss. We give you a big hug and kiss back, Lee. Wonderful man. Great. We got to get him on here one time because he knows so much about the music business. He really does. So haggis. Yes, I like haggis. Love it.
Ew.
It's lovely.
No, it's not. It's really not.
It's not. What's the matter with you?
Do you know what the thing is? It's in the name. It's haggis. The sound. Listen to the sound.
Haggis.
Haggis. It's not good.
Hello, Phil. Hi, Phil.
Phil's there.
Yes.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Phil, is that my Phil?
I think it is. I got to say hello to another Jerry, and also to David, who's joined us on one of the other chat rooms as well. I feel like I'm at the Not This Year Wimbledon at the moment, as my head keeps going from left to right, looking at different screens and chat rooms. But that's a cool thing. I love it. And listen, guys, half the point is to make you all happy. That's what we're trying to do. Yes, I can play a piano. I wouldn't be allowed in the UK now to play my other instrument because it's illegal, funnily enough. When you get to 65, you're not allowed to play.
What is it? What is it? The AK-47? What the hell?
No, it's actually the E-flat bass. A large euphonium, because they say it can damage your lungs when you get older.
Well, but that by then, what do you care? Just
Well, there is that to it. But that's true. Actually, it's just one of those things. And I'd have to say the bloke's stage name, which I don't want to do. I will give some people a hint. He was a pop star. He's an evil man. But before he became that, his name was Paul, and he was a jazz singer. And we were often, our school group, we were often the warm-up act for Paul in the North London jazz clubs. And I used to play the E-flat bass. Boom, 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 boom. Do it then, Svetlana, all the way from Kizmarok in the Slovak. I'm glad you didn't. I love the bagpipes. Don't anybody ever slag off the bagpipes.
Oh, I don't like them.
Right now, I'm sorry.
I would love...
What a screechy noise that is.
I'm with Rachel.
Really? I failed miserably. I did every sales technique in the world to try and get one of the guys from the Luton Pipe Band to teach me. And he said, go and learn on a recorder. I said, I've done that, can play one of them. And he said, no, you're still not playing it. When they were all here, when was that, 3-4 years ago? And we actually had the Luton Pipe Band marching down the middle of Poprad. It was wonderful.
That's cool.
It really was nice. Cream cheese on a bagel is one thing that Mitchell likes, which Lee says that's perfecto. No, I don't like cream cheese that much. I can't stand cottage cheese. Blech.
Cottage cheese is yummy.
No, it's not. Do you know what they did? What used to happen before cottage cheese was cottage cheese?
Was it apartment
semi-detached?
cheese?
No, most the farmers used to pour
cheese?
it. They used to pour it down the drain. You check it up. Somebody somewhere reckoned that they could make money or improve the volume financially and productivity of the farm by turning this waste material, cottage cheese, into something, because it's all the watery stuff that's in the cheese. Mm-hmm. And they used to pour it down the drain.
Well, that's a waste.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Nice. People eat it.
Oh.
I like it. I like cottage cheese.
Nah.
Apparently, the worst smelling food is yeast, says my daughter.
It is.
Really?
When you add it to a large container of about to ferment wine, there's no problem. Mm-hmm. No problem at all. Salt beef sandwiches, says Lee. We like that idea. Salt beef sandwiches. Smoked salmon on cream cheese on a bagel. Now that could be kind
Yes.
of good.
With capers and red onions.
Yeah, that could be good. Blimey, it's
Yummy.
like BBC Daytime on here talking about cooking.
Next,
Well,
we'll be
not
doing
really.
antiques.
Do you want a new question?
Yes, please.
Okay. What was the weirdest and thing that probably scarred you for life experience on radio?
Oh, I know what that was. I know exactly.
Do you want to do yours first, or shall I do mine?
Well, I think before I do mine, I will say to Paul, I agree with you. Golden fried halibut with chips. Lots of salt and vinegar too. Couldn't agree more. Wonderful, wonderful. Now,
Come on.
the hairs
Do
on
it. I believe in you. This is a safe space.
my knees have gone. You know when you get that sort of tingly feeling in your knees and your hair stands on end all at the same time? I've got that because it was what I would describe as the most horrific moment I've ever had on the radio. And Dave and I have been through quite a few. We've had fire alarms go off, ignored them. We've had problems, ignored them. But the one thing that still shakes me to the core, and I remember sort of practicing all afternoon, was on country music radio in London. And we were there as the token talk programme with the licence to begin with. And it was
Says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was the Wednesday after Princess Diana died.
Oh, yes.
And we were,
This.
you know, don't you? This was the first programme to be broadcast on the station as the regulator said, OK, you can now come out of obituary mode and go to courteous programmes. Nothing too daft, nothing too heavy going. And so on that evening, we had a similar program to this, but a bit more techie, called the Media Zoo, and that was the first program on the station which actually opened up the phone lines, had people talking, and we had people from all over Europe calling in back then, which was quite a big thing to do back then, and even to this day, I still remember playing the Elton John track, which was biked over to me so we could play it on the radio. And it's still the most horrific thing. And notwithstanding, I've reported on things like back in the early 90s, part of a football stadium collapsed. And I had to report that in the middle of a kind of high energy radio program, music program. And for me to do that was horrific. But opening up the station again after the obituary time, that's my worst moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's horrible. Dave?
Mine was on the same station, actually. One night I was trying to talk to Eric, and he was driving into London because for some very peculiar reason he followed, or our talk show followed a 2-hour show I did. And I remember trying to talk to Eric a number of times, and each time we opened the fader for the to open the telephone line so you could hear him, the phone cut out. I finally lost my rag after about three attempts of this, and started shouting at the equipment, as one does, while I was playing a record, only to discover that I'd left my mic fader open.
Oi!
Oh, no!
And I waited with bated breath to see if we got a complaint, but we didn't, so that was okay. So obviously you didn't hear exactly what I was saying about me. So that was good.
Okay, hang on, Naomi says, hi, Uncle Eric. You all having sorry I couldn't join you earlier. Hi to everyone on the network today. So that's from
Naomi.
That's from South West London, sort of Crawley area, somewhere around there. That's the lovely Naomi. Rachel, your turn.
Oh, it wasn't anything that I felt like my life was going to end, but it was scary at the time. I was working at B105 in Brisbane, which is in Queensland. It's one of the larger commercial stations, and I was on at about 10 o'clock at night with another guy, and he was producing, and I was just doing what I do, sitting there with headphones on, being delightful, because I have absolutely no skills on a board whatsoever, and Eric will testify, because I just about broke his.
No, you did all right. You did all right.
We were sitting there doing a call, and it was just, a silly call so somebody could win tickets to a football game. But there was water, and I didn't know where it was coming from. I honestly didn't. And all of a sudden I saw another drip of water, and then I saw a trickle, and then I saw a flow. And I looked up, and as I looked up, the entire ceiling fell in.
Oh no!
There was something up above. There was something up above that had been running and overflown. I don't know what it was, but bang on top of the desk, destroyed hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gear, and have killed our show right in the middle. Nobody else is in the station that time of night, so my poor producer, he had to run around, fire up a whole nother studio and start playing just nonsense until we could get the fireman to come. But that was very, very dangerous, because water and electricity are bad, and that piece of board that fell down, it flew down, and it was about 5 inches away from cracking me on the skull.
Gosh!
So it was. Well, neither of us were injured, but it frightened the absolute life out of me.
Well, Keith was on the air on a station called VOP, the Voice of Peace, which is probably unless you're a radio nutcase, in Europe is not as well known as it should be, because it was the most amazing radio station, and it was on just off the coast of Israel during all the big problems, and the Voice of Peace was a ship that did just that. It was the Voice of Peace, and it was just amazing. Anyway, Keith was on air on the Voice of Peace when the Apollo exploded.
Oh my word!
And that's
Challenger.
Yeah, the Challenger, that sobered things up a bit, says Keith, and I'm sure it did. How the heck you report on that? That takes some stomach, mate, I'll tell you. Yeah, it really is. That's a review. Now, let's move off of this, because I would like to now think, and I don't know what mine is, because I'm going to reverse all this. What is the most happy, memorable thing that's ever happened to you in the media?
Oh, wow.
Oh, my word. The happiest. That's a tricky one.
Isn't it?
Do you know what yours is?
Well, it's hard, because, funnily enough, I was doing some tidying up yesterday and bumped into the recordings that you did of Will Winstone. With Gene Van der Pyle. And, of course, Joe Barbera. I mean, they were phenomenal. But I think the funniest one for me, and we did talk about this yesterday, was Uri Geller. And I think Dave should tell. I think Dave should tell the story of this, because it was phenomenal. We were there with what was his name? William Roach, who was in the Coronation Street. It was absolutely fab, and we've only got a couple of minutes left, so you'd have to keep it quite good so Rachel can get her answer in. But Dave, what did Uri Geller do to you with Ken Roach?
So we were at, I can't remember what the show was, but we were there, and Uri Geller was there, and so we went to go interview him. And this was in the days I had a little portable mini disc player recorder, so we were recording the interview onto that. And we went through the usual sort of conversation, and then the conversation turned on to things that Uri Geller could do. And his first question was, has anybody got a key I can borrow? And Eric stands there sensibly and goes, oh no, I haven't got any keys. And so everybody looks at me. And so the only keys I had was the keys to the office where I'd recently got a job. So nervously, I handed over the keys to the office that I had, and Uri Geller then started to do his usual trick, which was to take these keys and gently rubbed his finger up and down the side of one of them, and lo and behold, in front of our eyes, the key started to bend.
It really did.
It was an amazing thing to see, and there was a view of sheer amazement and the sinking feeling in my stomach of how am I going to tell my new boss I've just destroyed one of the office keys.
And it did. And the thing
stayed bent.
And it was cold. It wasn't hot.
No. It was amazing.
Yeah, just quickly, we got from Phil. Loving listening to my sis. Had a wonderful video chat with her and mum tonight. First time COVID-19 positive. You're absolutely right. Do you have any old recordings of shows anywhere online? No, they're not. There's not many of them online, Steve. But again, it's something that we were talking about yesterday. We may have a mammoth session one day on one of the spare channels, and we are thinking of doing that. But that's an awful lot of work for Dave. It really is, because I'm terrible. I don't keep them.
But if you want to hear the interview with Joe Barbera or the interview with Gene Van der Pyle, if you go to my website, which is djrcreative.com, and go down, there's a menu on the left-hand side, go to Media Zoo, you'll find a load of our old jingles, you'll find those interviews, there's some videos on there as well.
Oh, God.
So you can see some of our past, including those interviews and including Anoraks jingle. You were talking about the Anoraks yesterday.
Yes, we're indeed.
So that's up there as well. So if you want to go hear some little bits, and I may well go and try and raid that rather large tub full of dats that I have.
Oh gosh!
Let's move. To hear my happy moment?
Yeah, we're to Rach.
My very most favourite happiest moment in media was when Uncle Eric offered me the job at Poprad.
Oh, that's nice.
You crawler.
No,
Dave, don't be churlish.
Don't be churlish.
Trying to be delightful. You should get on board.
Yeah, indeed. Hello to Chris Pope. Oh, I haven't said hello to you yet. Sorry, mate. The problem is, Chris, because he says I missed him. The trouble is, Chris, these screens are going up all the time, and I can't always keep up with both of them at the same time. I'm a typical man. I can only do one thing at a time. That's an excuse in case my wife's listening and asks me to wash up and dry up at the same time. Now we've got a dishwasher, and it's not called Martina. It's a machine thingy. I can't even drive that. Terrible.
Can if you try.
Yeah, the last time I used it, apparently I pushed the buttons wrong because I didn't read the book or look at the instructions, and I put it on a 3-hour cycle of wash. Everything came out nice and clean. So, I mean, what's the odds? No worries. It came out all nice and clean. That's not a problem. Anyway, just a couple of recaps because it's time for us to go. We've actually got to go right now. We really have. It's time for Tamara. Thanks, Rach. Thanks, Dave. Bye. We'll meet again, and it's lovely.
That as you saw me go, we'll be again. Don't know where, don't know where, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. There you go, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. And as the song says, we will meet again very, very soon. Sending so much love to you all. Stay home and keep safe, my friends. Till next time.